Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm out on the indoor range playing with a couple of Kel-Tec products. The product you see me shooting right now is the PMR-30. This is a 30-shot 22 Magnum made mostly out of polymers and of course metal where necessary. Things like the barrel and certain trigger components are metal, but it's a very lightweight 22 Magnum pistol, again, that fires from a 30-shot magazine. Another Kel-Tec firearm that I brought out this afternoon to show you guys for the first time on video is the CMR-30. It's the 30-shot 22 Magnum carbine version, companion piece to the PMR-30, P pistol, C carbine. The CMR-30 is something I've had now for a couple of months. You'll know that if you follow me on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, this will all be news to you. But again, I've had it for a couple of months. I've been evaluating the carbine, shooting it alongside with the pistol, and I've had a chance to run quite a bit of ammunition through it and start to form an opinion. Today is just another range day indoors, trying to stay out of the heat, shooting both the PMR and the CMR-30, just to play with them and evaluate some different types of ammunition. Today I'm trying out some CCI mags that you can see with the ballistic tips on them, courtesy of Federal Ammunition, or ATK. So anyway, that's what we're doing this afternoon, playing around the range, having some fun with these guns, bringing you guys along. I think you're going to enjoy what I have to show you this afternoon, including an interesting target that I have downrange. Let's do some more shooting. Well guys, let me introduce you to my new shooting companion. I'm going to call him Rubber Rob. We had Ballistic Bob, which is a guy we used in some ballistics testing videos a couple of years ago. He's been retired to the garage. We may whip him out again here later in a future video. But good old Rubber Rob here is my new shooting companion. Rubber Rob is made out of hard rubber, as the name implies, and it's manufactured by Rubber Dummies. I'll put a link to rubberdummies.com down below, which is a company that manufactures these torso-sized targets. I picked up a couple of these with the stands, the targets themselves, just a hard rubber target, which is self-sealing. These things retail for about 129 bucks. The entire system with the stand is $199. When you shoot up this rubber target, it costs you 120 bucks to replace it. But what's nice about it, as I mentioned, is it's self-sealing. That means as you shoot through it, the hole seals up. You can get thousands upon thousands upon thousands of rounds shot into this target, or so they say. I don't know. This is my first one, and it's actually the first one I've actually shot at. So you're going to continue to see me shooting at these things over the course of the next few months. We'll find out just how much abuse they can really take. The nice thing about them, a can of white spray paint resets the target. So all the bullet holes that you see on them, I'm just going to hit them with a little bit of spray paint here, and voila. Brand new, practically unshot target. You can kind of see some little 22 holes that have passed through them here. And the ones in the head aren't so visible, but the ones in the chest are definitely more visible. So we'll see what kind of abuse these guys can take. What's cool about them is you can put shirts on them and things like that for training purposes. If you're shooting at a target like a steel plate, it gives you immediate feedback. You can see the bullet hit, you can hear the bullet hit. In an actual gunfight, if you're training for self-defense type situations, you're not going to have that type of feedback. You're probably not going to see a bullet hit. You may or may not see a bullet hit. And that's what this will kind of simulate. You put a shirt over them, you'll see the bullets hit if you can pick up the movement of the clothing. But other than that, the bullet just passes right through this target onto the traps behind it in this case, because we're on an indoor range, which is another cool feature, which is why I'm able to do this. Since it's not steel, I can safely shoot it on an indoor range. The bullets pass right through, as I mentioned, and head on over to the steel traps. If this were a steel target, the bullets would splatter down. We have concrete all around, and it would increase the probability that a piece of bullet fragments would come back at the shooter. With old Rubber Rob here, that's not a concern. So anyway, Rubber Rob, Mac viewers, Rubber Rob. Let's shoot him some more. So this, guys, is the CMR-30. It has the exact same grip frame, grip feel as the PMR-30. It's pistol brethren, cousin, sister, brother, I don't know what you want to call it. The whole upper half of it is aluminum. Right here, there's a release. It's like the KSG. On the KSG, this would be the pump release. On the CMR, it allows you to adjust the stock in, has multiple settings, collapses all the way to a very short package, and then you push this down, pull out of the stock, and it fully extends. Now it has a really long length to pull. I mean, if I extend the stock all the way, I mean, that's more than enough for me, and I'm a Yeti, so really interesting little setup. I like how it works. It's very smooth. When it's in the shoulder, you can collapse it one if you need to, simply by pushing the button and collapse it. Pulling it out, you have to release it, pull it out, and it locks into place. Now, I do have a Trijicon sight on this thing. Yes, it costs 2 or 3 times more than the gun itself. These things, MSRP at about $630. Who knows what they're going to sell for on the open market? You know how Kel-Tec goes. They seem to trickle their products out at times. Demand is always really high, and people like to gouge on them. So anyway, let's fire off a few rounds out of this bad boy. You can see the ambi charging handles on both sides of the aluminum receiver. You just simply pull it back. It's non-reciprocating, so it does stay forward when the bolt goes closed. It does have a slide stop in pretty much the same location as the pistol, and manual safety right there, which you can access from both sides. Unfortunately, there's not a slide stop, so it's not completely ambidextrous, but you can hit that and it'll drop the slide, push up on it, pull back on the charging handle, it'll lock it open. All right, let's pop off a few rounds here really quick. See what we get. An old rubber rob here. Gun locks open, last shot fired. It has a heel release, just like the PMR, so you'll push this heel, take the magazine out, stick a fresh one in, and then to reload, simply drop the bolt home. Let's grab some more ammo and shoot it some more. Loading the 22 Magnums into the magazine is really relatively simple. It looks like a double stack magazine because it is. However, with the traditional double stack magazine, you can simply put a bullet on top and push down. You won't be able to do that with these magazines for the obvious reason, or what should be an obvious reason, that they actually have rims on them. And so look what I've done here is made a complete mess. Okay. So you'll notice, if you can see, that the lips are kind of wider here than they are at the base. Because it's a rimmed cartridge, you'll have to have the rims stacked so that each rim is in front of the other. If one rim got behind the other one in the magazine, the one below it, it would cause a malfunction. So what you're able to do is put them around right about here, push down, and then push it back and seat it all the way, and you'll see how the rims stack up so that the top round's rim is in front of the rim just below it. So it'll never cause a defeating issue. Now keep in mind, 22 Magnum is not designed for semi-automatic use. It's actually a really poor caliber for use in semi-automatic, simply because the case wall is perfectly straight and the cartridge is long, meaning it's going to be difficult for semi-automatic to feed it reliably. And I have run into that issue with both the pistol and the carbine version of the gun. You'll want to make sure that you use rounds that favor aiding the feeding of the gun. And in this case, we're using these CCI ballistic tips that have nice little pointy noses on them, which line it up perfectly with the chamber every time. And I have almost no problems with it. But you can't expect to have problems with certain 22 mag cartridges with these types of firearms. It's just the nature of the cartridge itself. It's really no fault of the gun, in my opinion. It seems like the guys at Kel-Tec tried to think of almost everything in designing the CMR-30, right down to the 1/2x28 threaded barrel. You'll notice I have a tri-lug adapter on the end of the barrel here, and that's because I like to use the Griffin Armament Checkmate 22 suppressor. So this is just a standard 22 suppressor, and because of the 16-inch barrel, there's no problems with pressure, but you will want to check with your suppressor manufacturer before using your 22 caliber suppressor on this particular firearm. So I'm going to go ahead and push it on, turn and rotate. That tri-lug system locks the suppressor into place. Now I've fired the gun quite a bit suppressed, and the suppressor does increase the back pressure in the barrel, which also means it's going to blow more garbage back into this gun. I have noticed that if you shoot these guns quite a bit, once they start to get dirty, they start to experience malfunctions. So the only thing you really need to do is just clean this gun every time you shoot it, and you're not going to really run into reliability issues. I haven't cleaned this thing in a month in probably about 500 rounds, so it's pretty filthy right now. And so far, as you've seen, I'm not having any problems, but the suppressor can change that just a little bit because, again, it makes the gun run just a little bit harder and a little bit dirtier. So let's fire a few rounds with it suppressed with the Griffin Armament can on it. Now I am getting gas back in my face, and it's definitely increasing the recoil. I can feel more recoil with the gun. Not that it has noticeable recoil really to begin with. It's a 22 Magnum, but you can definitely tell the difference when you have the suppressor on the gun. It does not change the point of impact at all, though. Oh man, the gas is unbelievable. Don't have the fans on in the indoor range so we can keep it quiet in here, and holy cow, the gas is like overwhelming. That's the last shot fired, bolt locks open, last shot fired. And it runs really well, again with the can on it, except for getting the gas back in your face, which is common with semi-automatics of any type. So, works good, fun, definitely like it. I don't know about old Rubber Rob down there, he's taking a beating. Nice little group right there in the center of the chest. A lot of fun, like the target. Overall, I'm having a real good time with the CMR-30. I think the ergonomics are workable, the charging handle. If I could make one recommendation, instead of having the fixed plastic, I know it would just add cost to the gun, but having a charging handle that perhaps folds flat would be an upgrade, maybe in a version 2 down the road. Has 1913 rails that run the full length of the top of the gun, and a really long rail across the bottom. Now, because this is a carbine, you can put vertical grips on it, AFGs, whatever you want. The disassembly is relatively straightforward. We'll save that for another video. It's kind of getting hot in here, and my glasses are fogging up on me. You can put just about any sight that you'd like on there, a good red dot. Like I said, I put this Trijicon on there. I was just reaching around, scurrying through boxes and stuff that I had of optics, and this came up. I thought it'd be kind of funny to put it on the gun given the cost of the sight versus the rifle. But overall, the ergonomics are really good. It's easy to hit all the controls, and the shootability is through the roof. I mean, this thing is really, really pleasant to shoot. I'm thinking if you're looking for a little backpack gun, you know, pick one up, test it out, make sure it works with the ammunition you want to carry in it first, which is critical. And then this little tiny thing stows away perfectly. If you want to take it a step further, SBR it, you know, let the barrel stick out about that far, rethread it, and man, you'd have a tiny little powerhouse. Now with the 16-inch barrel, we're going to test this theory, but with this 16-inch barrel, these 22 mags very well could defeat body armor, threat level 2A, which we've tested in the past, and maybe even threat level 3A. We'll find that out, and we'll save that for a future video. So anyway, I'm going to do a little bit more shooting. I'm done with the suppressor. The gas off that thing is freaking horrendous, but I'm going to see if I can't chew the center out of this guy here. We've fired about 150 rounds or so at the target, and we'll take you downrange and show you what that looks like here in a few seconds as well, so you can see what the damage is to the rubber target downrange with the 22 mag. Shoot him in the neck here. Oops. Didn't feed one. As you can see, the thing's spot on in accuracy. I'm popping him in the neck there. I'll pop him in the forehead. Back to center of mass. Now let's give him a belly button. Couple of nipples. It's a really shootable little gun. This thing's a lot of fun. Actually, I kind of like Rubber Rob down there too as a target. Locks open, last shot fired. Not sure what happened there with the failure to feed, but occasionally you'll find a hiccup or two with the gun. Other than that, though, it's running really, really good. God, I actually like it quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. His nose has taken a beating. Just started shooting him in the neck. I've been focusing a lot of shots here in the center of mass, but if you come around the back side, you can kind of see, hopefully the camera can pick it up, it's kind of dark, but you can see where the headshots are coming through here. You can see where it's blowing out some of the rubber. So what I'm thinking is if you shoot the center obviously quite a bit over and over and over again, you're going to make a hole in the center of your rubber target. The self-sealing aspect of it kind of gets negated by a lot of concentrated rounds in one small area. If you're shooting all over the place and you're a horrible shot, you're probably going to have your target last a lot longer for you. But yeah, it's holding up pretty well so far. Not too bad. Quick reset here. This part of it I really like. It's kind of like a steel target. Reset it so you can easily see your hits. Looks like he has a skin disorder with all the paint hanging off of him. Cover up his nipples and belly button. I'm sorry. Rubber Rob, that's probably inappropriate. All right, here we go, all set, more fun. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed coming out to the range with me to shoot the CMR and to a lesser extent the PMR-30 this afternoon. I do plan on shooting the gun quite a bit more. You'll see it in videos going forward. Perhaps by the fall I'll give you a final opinion on the gun. Again, I like to ring it out really good, put a lot of ammunition through it before I give you guys an opinion on what I think of the particular firearm that I'm testing or evaluating or just playing with in this case. And if you haven't noticed, I've kind of started to get away from the more structured review, what has been commonly referred to as a tabletop review, where we show a gun, we recite a bunch of statistics, say it has a 4.2-inch barrel and weighs 2.5 pounds and all that nonsense. I find that to be a little bit boring, so I'm doing more and more range type videos where I just bring you guys along. I bring a camera so you can follow me along. We just go out to the range and do some shooting and take a look at the guns actually working. If I encounter problems, I show it. Sometimes the manufacturers don't like that, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I can't shoot the gun to save my life, you're going to see it. And sometimes I do run into those problems. Not every gun I can shoot very well. So I hope you guys enjoy the new format of the videos, the more casual approach to reviews, if you will, because I don't really want to just be stuck or pigeonholed into these again, tabletop reviews for lack of a better term. So anyway, we're going to shoot the PMR-30 on the way out. I really enjoy shooting this guy because of the fireballs that it throws. This gun has absolutely no recoil that you can really speak of. However, it puts on a heck of a show. anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will talk to you guys soon.